She said she was out with friends. But one message revealed a hidden affair with my own cousin.
Don't miss the next twist. Hit subscribe and turn on the bell for more interesting stories like this.
I never expected a text message from a stranger to destroy everything I knew about my marriage. My name is Marcus. I'm 39, and until recently, I thought I had the kind of relationship other people envied. I was married to Elena for 14 years. We had 2 kids, a paid-off house, vacations twice a year, a shared Spotify playlist, the usual symbols of a perfect life. We were high school sweethearts. People used to say we were that couple, always laughing, always together. That illusion came crashing down because of a phone number I didn't recognize and 5 words I'll never forget. You deserve to know everything. It was a random Thursday night. Elena was out with friends, supposedly. I was at home watching TV, our youngest asleep upstairs. I picked up her phone from the kitchen counter to silence it when the message popped up. I didn't open it at first, but the message preview alone froze me. I stared at the screen. Something deep inside me, that gut feeling you always ignore, screamed that something was off. I tapped into the message. There were photos, screenshots, voice notes, conversations between Elena and someone named Aaron. The first few messages were harmless. Jokes. Memes. Then it got intimate. They'd been meeting for over a year. He wasn't a stranger. He was my cousin. They had rekindled something during a family wedding the year before. What started as late-night texts turned into hotel rooms. And what crushed me the most? They talked about our children. He knew their birthdays. He gave them gifts, and I thought he was just being a generous uncle. I sat in silence for over an hour. When Elena came home, I didn't yell. I didn't accuse. I just handed her the phone and said, "Is there anything you want to tell me?" She stared at the screen, then at me, and she just broke. What followed was 3 hours of crying, pleading, rationalizing. She said she didn't plan for it to happen, that she felt lost, that I hadn't noticed her struggles, that Aaron listened. I told her I would never compete with betrayal. Over the next few weeks, everything unraveled. Our kids noticed the change. I slept in the guest room. She begged for counseling. I agreed not to fix the marriage, but to understand how it got so broken without me seeing it. In therapy, I learned more than I ever wanted to. Elena had been emotionally checked out for years. She resented the way I worked late. She felt invisible. But instead of talking to me, she found comfort in the one place that would do the most damage. I confronted Aaron. He didn't deny it. He said he loved her, that he'd been in love with her since we were teens, that he never thought she'd say yes. I cut him off that day. Elena and I separated 3 months later. The kids live with me during the week, and with her on weekends. We're civil for them. But that marriage died the moment she let someone else into the most sacred place in our lives. But that wasn't the end of the story. 3 months after we separated, I got a knock on the door from his wife. Yes, Aaron's wife. Her name was Danielle. She had no idea either. She'd found my address from a receipt Aaron had left in their glove box. She sat across from me, eyes red, clutching a folder full of printouts and photos. It turned out Aaron had been cheating on both of us, not just with Elena, but with 2 other women. One of them was even younger, in her early 20s. Danielle and I sat there, silently looking at each other. Both betrayed, both humiliated, and strangely, both relieved, because now the full picture was out. We kept in touch. She became something like a war buddy. Someone who knew exactly what the other was going through without needing to say much. We'd text every couple weeks, check in on each other. That's when I started digging deeper. Not out of obsession, but because I needed to understand how deep the lie had gone. I looked through old photos, wedding albums, Facebook memories. Things that once made me smile now felt like evidence. I saw patterns I'd ignored. Phone calls during dinner, work trips that didn't make sense, her disengagement when we talked about our future. And then I found it, an old burner phone hidden in the attic insulation. I'd never gone up there since we renovated. She must have hidden it before things blew up. Inside, more messages, photos, videos. Proof that Elena had been planning to leave me, but only once she knew for sure Aaron would leave his wife too. She was stringing both of us along, playing two ends against the middle. And when Aaron refused to fully commit, she clung to our marriage until she got caught. That was the final blow. The kind that doesn't hurt with fire, but with cold. Like a frost that settles deep in your bones. I stopped responding to her after that. No co-parenting chats beyond logistics. No eye contact at drop-offs. I became the ghost she created. The kids? They're okay. I'm honest with them, in age-appropriate ways. I tell them love is real, but trust is sacred, and that even grown-ups make terrible mistakes. I journal every day. I go to therapy every week. I've started running again, something I hadn't done in years. Movement helps. Motion helps. Forward helps. One night, my daughter asked if I'd ever marry again. I told her, only if the next woman tells me the truth, even when it's hard. Because I've learned that lies don't just break trust. They rewrite reality. They steal time. And I'll never let that happen again. It's been almost 2 years now. I've been on dates. Nothing serious. But I've smiled more. Laughed more. Even caught myself singing along to the radio again. And last month, I sat on a bench, watched my kids run around the park, and realized something. I may have lost my marriage, but I found myself again. And that, brother, is worth everything. 2 weeks ago, I went on a trip with the kids to a cabin in the mountains. No phones. No screens. Just us, nature, and a lot of silence. It was the first time I truly saw my son smile again like he used to. We made pancakes over a fire. We skipped rocks. I taught my daughter how to fish. That weekend changed something in me. I realized I wasn't just healing for me, I was healing for them. Elena texted me while we were there. Just a short message. I'm sorry. I know I broke everything. I didn't reply. Some things don't need answers. I saw Aaron once, randomly, at a gas station. We made eye contact. He looked away. And for the first time, I felt nothing. Not rage. Not sadness. Just indifference. Danielle moved out of state with her kids. She's remarried now. She sent me a Christmas card last year with a handwritten note. Some scars are shared. Hope yours are fading. They are. Because slowly and painfully, I've started writing new chapters. I'm learning to trust again. To love again. Maybe not someone else yet, but definitely myself. The man I was? He died the day I read that message. The man I am now? He's real. He's flawed. But he's honest. And he's not afraid to live again. Not afraid to be alone. Not afraid to be whole. Because pain teaches you to see clearly. To choose better. To love deeper. And maybe that's what this story really is. Not about cheating. But about clarity. And what it takes to find yourself again after losing everything you thought was real.